Oh. Whew. Sorry, just building the newest addition to the family. If you've seen before, I did I created a little mobile desk setup for recording shows, and I'm going even smaller than that with this new build right here. You'll see it once I finish it. But so anyways, today's topic is something that I actually find very, very interesting. The normal saying is gear doesn't matter, right? And it's both true and false. It's true in the fact that what you shoot on doesn't matter. As long as you're intentional with everything and you have at least, I would say at least a 1080p image coming from a 4K sensor, you will have at least a decent image. For example, the Canon C100s had a 4K sensor in it, and those images are amazing. So when they say gear doesn't matter, I do agree with that when it comes to the type of camera you're using, because even these things right here are now so good that you really wouldn't be able to tell if it was shot on that or not unless somebody told you. But when you're talking like the differences between an Arri and a cell phone, Arri obviously is going to take the cake. The difference between Blackmagic and Arri, not as much as the difference between that. And the difference between like a DJI Osmo Pocket, which I'm shooting on, and whatever other camera, it's not going to be like it. Because what really happens is that whole idea that gear does matter, like what you're shooting on matters. It comes from people like us that actually shoot. Gear does still matter, but not in the sense of cameras, in my opinion. Gear really does matter when it comes to having it. Like you can't just say gear doesn't matter and then just not use gear, if that makes any sense, right? You got to have lighting, you got to have audio, you got to have grip. All that stuff is important. You don't just go make a Hollywood blockbuster saying, oh, we don't need lights. One of the things that I love about the creator was the lights that they used. They used a lot of lights that are accessible to the common creator, right? Their main light was the 1200D from Aputure. So gear does matter, but the way that we talk about it, I think what's really interesting is since like 2000, when did Blackmagic drop their camera? 2012, I think. Since like 2012, the industry has taken a turn on what's important, and it's mainly cameras, right? So like when NAB happens, it's kind of like, what's the next camera coming out? That's what we look for, not necessarily what's the best new piece of gear that comes out. And I've been thinking about it because my wife is giving me the go-ahead to purchase the Pyxis. And, but I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger. Not because it's a standby, like you gotta pre-order it, but it's because once they do start shipping, it's not gonna be like Red, where the Komodo took like people 6 months to get it even after it was released. I think that was unfortunate. That's not on Red. I don't think that's on Red. I think that's on the COVID situation and everything. So let's get that straight. I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger because there's so many other ways that I can spend it for it. It says $29.95, but once you buy the media, because for me, I have to buy the media and I have to buy the batteries, and then you have to buy a viewfinder because I have to have some type of way to wireless transmit my image to my clients and who I'm working with. So my SDI port's taken, so I have to buy the viewfinder. So with all of that being said, I could be spending that $4,000 on something and more than one thing that will actually help progress my company and my business. Again, when you're making stuff, it's for an audience, it's not for you, right? So like you're making a film for an audience, and most of them don't make films. So most of them are not even going to notice anything different between a Canon C70, an Arri Alexa, an iPhone. They don't care enough to pay attention to that. But what they do really pay attention to is the audio. So like the audio, you should probably spend a lot more time working with the audio than worrying about what camera I'm shooting on. So does gear matter? The answer is no, but also yes. So take that and think about it.